Now snitching, they wildin', put hands on that mouse like I'm online browsing. I buy cars, right, it's no secret, but you like Nas' wife, you can lease it. So where the bread is? Cause once these two guns sandwich your ball's head, he gon' let us. Cause just cause you took the plug work, you ain't take his gun, and those I know ran off on the plug, died hooked the one. Word clips well, two guns named Kelly and B, so it won't be a misshap. You ain't real, what you rhyming for? I draw, I shot her in that restaurant and left him a fossil, the whole dinosaur.
The first use of metaphors can be traced to some of the earliest records in human history, where they were key parts of oral traditions, poetry, and religious texts. One of the oldest examples comes from the legendary Epic of Gilgamesh, a poem written around 2100 BCE in ancient Mesopotamia. In this poem, Gilgamesh is described as a storm, a powerful metaphor that perfectly captures his immense, unstoppable nature. But Gilgamesh wasn't alone. The Rig Veda, a secret Hindu text from between 1500 and 1200 BCE, used metaphors to interpret the divine and the mysteries of the natural world. Fast forward to Homer's Iliad and the Odyssey in the 8th century BCE, where metaphors and similes painted vivid pictures of heroic deeds and emotional battles. 9 years we wove a web of disaster that made rage of the monster boil over, his mind churning with thoughts of bloody work. And then of course there's Aristotle, the Greek philosopher who in the 4th century formalized the study of metaphors in his work Poetics. He understood their power, describing how they elevated art and rhetoric to new levels. Metaphors weren't just a poetic device, they were building blocks of human expression. Furthermore, in the field of science, some of the most renowned scholars have used metaphors as a way to make complex concepts more relatable. Albert Einstein used the metaphor "God does not play dice" to express his discomfort with randomness in quantum mechanics. It was a simple yet effective way to put forth the idea that the universe was orderly and deterministic rather than driven by probability. Sir Isaac Newton once paid homage to physicists before him by famously writing he was standing on the shoulders of giants, acknowledging that his discoveries in physics and mathematics were built on the foundational work of scientists like Galileo and Kepler. In 1982, when Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5 released The Message, the following metaphor still reverberates the culture in the present day.
It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under.
The line compares the struggle of living in a poverty-stricken, chaotic urban environment to navigating a dangerous jungle. In essence, this line was ahead of its time. The late great Big L was known for his humorous punchlines and once described how advanced his rap skills were.
That nigga you expect to catch wreck on any cassette deck. I'm so ahead of my time when parents haven't met yet.
We also can't forget the classic Beavis and Butthead line.
Showing your tux red, I'm far from broke, got enough bread. And mad hoes, ask Beavis, I get nothing but head.
Rapper Lloyd Banks often refers to himself as the Punchline King or PLK. His earlier works filled with endless punchline bars, which dominated the mixtape era in the early to mid 2000s.
Boy, I know the watch ball in your vision, but reaching, I put a dot on your head like it's part of your religion.
Look, from battle rappers to mainstream rappers, hip-hop has and always will be interconnected with metaphors. But there lies one MC who took it to a level that only few have matched. The late great Fred the Godson, hailing from the birthplace of hip-hop, the Bronx, has whole verses where every bar is a metaphor, and some lines punch harder than Tyson in his 20s. He's a product of the mixtape era, an example not to judge a book by its cover. His short stature and heavy-set appearance doesn't match the confident and clever bars that will have you bursting of laughter one second. Other times, I found myself pressing rewind more than a few times. While most New York rappers were adopting southern soundscapes by 2010, Fred was keeping it all the way New York. Before his untimely passing from complications due to COVID in April of 2020, Fred the Godson released 11 projects that would garner him respect from the game's top lyricists, including Jadakiss, Pusha T, Raekwon, and Jay-Z to name a few. People like radio personality Charlemagne the God would often joke on Fred the Godson's appearance, but you could tell he never phased Fred because he knew he was dead nice on the mic. Let's roll the clip.
I've always said how nice Fred is as an MC.
Right.
But on Halloween,
Yeah.
I said that Fred would be he's the #1 rapper that would make a great Halloween man.
Well, Fred the Godson's here. Welcome, Fred.
What up, y'all? What up?
Now, one thing I respect about you, Fred, you know, you seem so comfortable in your own skin, man. Like no matter how crazy that skin may look, you seem comfortable in it. What grew that confidence, man?
Yo, Charlemagne, you the worst.
Look, Gordo embodied one of Biggie Small's most iconic lines that puts forth the idea that everyone should have their however. What I mean is, when Biggie raps,
heartthrob never, black and ugly as ever. However, I stay Gucci down to the sock.
He's really telling people that no matter your circumstances, always have that however that sets you apart from the rest. And Fred the Godson's however was like Biggie's however and Jay-Z's however, which is, They're dead nice on the mic. Busta Rhymes found this out in the studio session with Gordo. Let's roll the clip.
God, son, it'll never be enough. I'm so ahead of my time and babysitting my mother.
I'm so ahead of my time, I'm babysitting my mother.
When you listen to Fred the Godson, you are constantly bombarded with the most intricate, clever metaphors, all while manipulating the pronunciation of words. Let's roll the clip.
Well, I don't know, I'm on a low. Bin Laden, Washington Heights, I connect Bin Laden. I nickname your girl Ken, cause every time the car dash, she in. These A&Rs are comedians like Jerry, cause everything they sign is fell.
Look, to my knowledge, Fred was the first to play on the word Kardashian, which at this point has been butchered by countless battle rappers. When Fred references Bin Laden and his plug being of Latin origin, it's not only a clever metaphor with dope rhyme schemes, but serves as a double entendre as well. His Seinfeld references while simultaneously shitting on major record labels is quite frankly legendary. Fred's confidence on the mic is unmatched, even comparing himself to some of the most revered MCs. Fred the Godson was truly special and one of one on the mic. In an era where drill rap has lowered the bar with trash material, listening to Fred's music is quite refreshing because even though he's spitting that straight up gangster shit, he does so with unmatched wit and cleverness. It really feels like some of the best dark satire I've heard in a while.
The fifth's awesome. No matter what you bench press, know it takes 6 to lift one coffin. The clip awesome, his lips off him. Put his face on his chain, Rick Rossum. Mr. Ricky, infrared gleam on them. Niggas is like CDs, they play themselves when the beam's on them.
Look, Murderous Bars never sounded so glorious. It's what Quentin Tarantino would listen to if he was into hip-hop. After cosigns from Jay-Z and a spot on XXL's 2011 freshman cover class, things were starting to come full circle for Fred. There's some contractual issues and a deal with Dipset that didn't go through. Not only was he releasing quality projects, but he was also ghostwriting for some of your favorite rappers on the low. Let's roll the clip.
Excitement, cause my studio's a haunted house. The way I'm doing all this ghostwriting.
Look, Fred the Godson would have thrived in the era that we're currently in. I mean, imagine Fred the Godson signing to Griselda Records, or even doing a project produced entirely by Rock Marciano, The Alchemist. Before Fred the Godson's tragic passing, he would even feature 38 Special and Benny the Butcher on Nokia off of God Level. Fred was respected by everyone from underground to mainstream and everywhere in between. But even in his untimely passing, Fred left us with straight up gems. On 2019's Gordo, Fred laces the intro with non-stop punchlines.
Also on the track and then Fred speak. Best father in the world, still I deadbeat.
In his XXL freshman cypher alongside Meek Mill and Big Crit, Fred the Godson absolutely stole the show. And how do I know this? When you click on the tab, you can see where most people play the video back. Let's roll the clip.
Live from the BX. It's funny how I walk around with a 4.5 and a 3X. Big chain, get you smoke like I love Lucy's. Just me and my Cuban, I love Lucy. Finna age, look at Marion. I'm center stage, more lies you want. I'm riding on whoever side you on, black or white, whatever race. Relay the message only with my baton. Move pies like Papa John. When we in the ride, be quiet with Big Pop on. I'm being honest, I got that flame. You like G-Unit, you ain't got no game. All I got is a flow with it. I'll make your sandwich, no hero, son. You gotta roll with it. Leaving an OJ when the code, get it? It's a murder. Look, I let the 38 and then the dudes beam him and put his face in a box like he used streaming. Labels I hear offers. Had Jay-Z going crazy in the office. Clark Kent endorsed it. Lenny S. forced it. Beans tried to take me to Bellevue. I lost it. Now rappers should all forfeit. My swag is a ladder. I will never fall off it. Those who can't hear, I appear to floor walk with. Spitting out of this world. Chewing on some orbit. You ain't a boss, so don't walk it or talk it. You better off the bench and more Crawford. I'm nauseous. I don't feel right, dead it. Put the M to your head, now you feel lightheaded. This Halloween, it was sick. Painted myself brown.
His confidence on the mic was clearly apparent, even once referencing Jay-Z as being amazed by his clever lyricism. You see, what stands Fred apart from your typical punchline battle rapper is the dude can actually make a song. Furthermore, his rhyme schemes and wordplay are cut from the same cloth as greats like Big L and Lord Finesse. And for those that don't know, before Fred was getting busy on the mic, he was battling everyone he possibly could, even facing off against Charlie Clips, known as one of the best battle rappers out right now. As the story goes, according to Dipset alumni J.R. Writer, Fred absolutely spanked him. The legendary group Clips, consisting of Pusha T and Malice, is often used as metaphoric references, and at this point it's been butchered in battle rap and rap music, but Fred was one of the first dudes to really make it stand out. Let's roll the clip.
Got your girl in the roof and she a looker. Got clips since you wanna act Malice, I'm a pusher.
Wait, did Gordo just turn pushing a ton into being a pimp? Goddamn. And like his basketball references, you could find punchlines galore all throughout Gordo's catalog, centered around rappers. Let's roll the clip.
Have your kid in the front of a bridge like the cover of Illmatic. I hit his team with the balls taught. I tried to cut him, just missed the cheek, while still he lost boys.
Gordo's hesitant, almost faint delivery plays in contrast to his straight up cold-blooded bars that have a humorous touch to it. The next bar, I feel guilty for even laughing. Let's roll the clip.
Now the X is lit. I need a priest. Just had sex with my ex's sis. You know New York is brick, I'm where the minx is.
Metaphors have evolved to become part of everyday conversations. I'll often come across new immigrants who have arrived in my city who are overwhelmed by the use of metaphors in everyday life. My immigrant cousins, for instance, who try their best to assimilate to Western culture, often ask me questions when they hear things like this on TV. Look, the truth of the matter is, Fred the Godson left a legacy built on literary brilliance. He was slicker than a spill of oil, and he knew it. But even more, he showed us that no matter where you came from or how you look, everybody was born with their however. I go by the name of Nugs, and this is that dope shit.